Hey guys, happy Friday. Yes, finally Friday, and welcome to the Fox 5 Live Zone. I'm your host, Guy Lambert. Thank you so much for joining us. Power Pack Show coming up today. It's official. A judge ruling that the National Guard should not be deployed right here in the nation's capital. The next question is, will they go bye-bye? We've got the very latest. You've seen them on your TV, and now you'll see them right here on this TV screen. Talking about actor and comedian Flex Alexander joining us. He's here for a couple of comedy shows this weekend. And did you hear about this? The American University student who is crying foul, saying, oh my gosh, I have to go to class on Thanksgiving? Talk about ruining Turkey Day. All that and more coming up on the show, but first let's talk weather, shall we? Speaking of turkey, well, he's...
Oh, I see where you're going with that. all right.
Barnes.
You don't do that with all your guests, do you?
No.
Okay.
Just
because it's good. It was.
Oh, was it good? Okay, cool.
Pretty good. Yeah, you can use it for next week. Okay, let's do weather. Let's hop in together. It's been gloomy and gray and good holiday eating Thanksgiving weather for the past 5 days.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we're keeping the good times going if you like clouds. You know, there are cloud lovers in the world, Guy.
Yeah, not me.
No, not you, but,
Okay.
Let us hear from you if you're a cloud lover. 52. No, so here's the deal. It's not going to rain this afternoon, but we'll get showers tonight, early tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And then we'll clear it out, or we'll try to clear it out Saturday afternoon. And Sunday's going to be the nicer of the weekend days if you're making weekend plans. There's a lot of clouds out there midday Friday, and you can see some light rain showers out towards Charlottesville at this hour. I wouldn't expect any kind of measurable rain. Maybe we'll get a little drizzle late this afternoon, and any measurable rain until this evening. So out and about later tonight. If you're like Guy and your night doesn't even start till 10 or 11, be ready. There'll be some showers out there. You can see all the showers streaming into Kentucky and parts of Tennessee and Indiana at this hour. All of that tracking in our direction for tonight. So we'll have some showers later tonight.
Got it.
Overnight, early tomorrow morning, you'll get up, look out the window, and you'll be like, oh, more clouds. This day is doomed. It's not, because by afternoon we should get some drier air in here, and hopefully we'll get a little sunshine going late Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks beautiful, 57. Monday near 60. That's great for traveling. Tuesday, Wednesday, a few showers around Guy. That is for up and down the eastern seaboard. So if you're driving, it won't be a rain out, but a few showers around both Tuesday and Wednesday, and then kind of breezy and cool Thursday.
Oh yeah.
But should be dry. So that's typical Thanksgiving, mid-50s with partial sunshine.
See, I knew you were going to talk turkey.
That's good.
Barnes,
plays his own show.
Weather right here on the Live Zone. Appreciate you, Tucker. Have a great weekend. Folks, if you haven't already done so, make sure you download the Fox Local app and take that forecast with you on the go. Well, a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to end the National Guard deployment right here in the nation's capital, but troops likely won't leave immediately. It's been 3 months since President Trump declared a crime emergency in D.C. More than 2,000 members of the National Guard, a majority of them sent here from Republican states, have been patrolling the National Mall, metro stations, and nightlife spots within the city. They've also done a lot of trash and debris removal. D.C.'s Attorney General arguing the president did not have the authority to deploy the Guard without the mayor's consent, and a federal judge apparently agreed, saying the deployment of the National Guard for a non-military crime deterrence mission and bringing in out-of-state soldiers illegally intrudes on local authority. The White House then responded, saying this: President Trump is well within his lawful authority to deploy the National Guard in the nation's capital to protect federal assets and assist law enforcement with specific tasks. This lawsuit is nothing more than another attempt at the detriment of D.C. residents to undermine the president's highly successful operations to stop violent crime in D.C. Obviously, we'll continue to monitor this developing story throughout the afternoon right here on the Live Zone. Also, within the last hour on Capitol Hill, the widow of slain journalist Jamal Khashoggi appeared with Congressman Jamie Raskin to condemn the president's comments about her husband. Here is some of what she had to say.
He's controversial and he's unliked. I would like to tell Mr. Trump you're expressing someone else, not Jamal Khashoggi. Jamal Khashoggi was most stable man. He was a role model to represent us as an Arabic and Muslim, and he accepts everybody regarding your ideology background as well. They try to paint him like he's a friend of Osama bin Laden or his Muslim Brotherhood, and all of this excuse. This not excuse to take his life away. There is no justification to kidnap him, torture him, and to kill him and to cut him to pieces. This is a terrorist act. What they did, this is 17 men in behalf of the order.
Yet again, that being the widow of slain journalist Jamal Khashoggi, appearing earlier today on Capitol Hill. Well, President Trump later this afternoon will meet with New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani in the Oval Office. This comes after Trump, who in the past has labeled the Democratic Socialists a communist and threatened to withhold the city's funding. Speaking of the president, he also making headlines after so-called threats to Democrats. Trump insisted earlier today that he is not threatening death to Democratic lawmakers who urged troops to disobey illegal orders that might be issued by the administration. But he said those lawmakers are in serious trouble. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Mr. Brian Maloney, conservative analyst back here on the Live Zone. Happy Friday, my friend. Good to see you.
Hey. Wow.
A lot going on right here in the nation's capital, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, let's jump right into it. In this case, we're going to kick off with the so-called threats to Democrats. A lot of folks talking about this, in essence, saying Democratic lawmakers who urged troops to disobey illegal orders. President Trump saying, well, you know what, I didn't, in essence, really mean to threaten them. I'm just saying that in the past, that would have been a major issue. And, well, the result, death. Perhaps this is something that the president should not have said.
Well, I think we're in a period of hyper-partisanship now, and there's a lot of rhetoric going around on both sides that's getting a little bit, above board. But the bottom line here is that it's not up to a soldier to determine, whether the orders that he's following is lawful. He's not a legal expert unless there's something obvious going on. Unless it's something that is common knowledge to absolutely everybody. So, Democrats shouldn't have been saying something like that in the first place. So the volume just keeps getting cranked up on these kinds of things, and it's just getting reckless.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. Yet again, the rhetoric reaching a new all-time high, if you will, when it comes to being somewhat negative. The Justice Department has 30 days to release its files tied to Jeffrey Epstein after Trump signed a bill earlier this week directing it to do just that. Some lawmakers worry the administration may try to hinder the process by slowing the release. Do you think that will actually happen, Brian?
No, I don't. I think that Trump wants to get this over with. I think everybody in Washington wants to get this issue out of the way. We have midterm battles heating up beyond belief going into next November. So we want to get this over with. And the bottom line is Thanksgiving holidays are notorious for the release of news that maybe you don't want a whole lot of attention focused on. So, if you see a late night Wednesday release, but we still don't know a lot of what's going to be in this. So we don't know who will be hurt. We've seen some Democrats get hurt by this so far, but by some of the recent leaks like Larry Summers or Hakeem Jeffries. So who knows? But I don't see Trump stalling on this. I see him rushing on it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. Speaking of the president, we now know that he still wants to strike a bipartisan health care deal, expressing optimism that an agreement can be reached by January 30th, obviously the deadline before the next potential government shutdown. Will this happen? Meaning, will a deal be reached?
Well, yeah, so here's the thing on this. Healthcare costs for the average American family will double over the next year. This will be the key issue fueling the midterms. So the bottom line is the party that gets ahead of the curve on this, and Republicans have so much at stake because, it's going to be a tough year, tough midterm election. So anything that can be done right now or to seem like you're getting ahead of this and doing something about it where American families feel a sense of relief about skyrocketing healthcare costs, then it has to be priority one for Republicans and absolutely for President Trump.
Yeah, we'll end with this, Brian, and that is we now know that believing they have a new window of opportunity to restart peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, Trump administration officials now rushing ahead with a new framework to end the war, modeled after the Gaza deal President Trump pushed. For quite some time, he has spoken about this and how he wants to bring that war to an end. Will we finally see that come to fruition?
Well, it's possible. I don't think Ukraine can win the war at this point. I don't think they can retake any of that lost territory. So the war pretty much has to end. has to stop Russia from advancing further. And the bottom line here is this: if this is something that Trump can get over with quickly and then get back to domestic issues, which needs to be 99% of its focus right now, it really does. The economy and healthcare and everything else. If he can work out a quick deal, this really is about cementing Trump's legacy going forward.
All right. Yet again, we have been speaking with Mr. Brian Maloney, conservative analyst, joining us right here on the Live Zone. Make it a great Friday, my friend. All right, well, get your popcorn ready. A political collision set for later today as Donald Trump and New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani prepare to have a face-to-face right here in the nation's capital. When asked what's to be expected yesterday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
It speaks volumes that tomorrow we have a communist coming to the White House because that's who the Democrat Party elected as the mayor of the largest city in the country.
It's obvious both figures represent polar opposites. And Mamdani, having publicly blasted Trump on Election Day, this encounter is shaping up to be one of the most contentious meetings now set to get underway. Joining us to discuss this and so much more is Young Voices spokesperson Victoria Churchill back here on the Live Zone. Good to see you, Victoria. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Guy. Always great to be on with you.
All right. Well, you heard me make mention of it earlier. Let's get the popcorn ready. All eyes going to be on the White House. I'm curious, what do you think will unfold as the two New Yorkers sit down for a face-to-face?
Well, I think a couple things. So first of all, I think Press Secretary Leavitt is completely correct that Mamdani is a full-on communist. You know, he opened up his election night speech with a reference back to statements that had been made by the Socialist Party of America founder. So, you know, that's the ideology that he brings into the White House. But I think something that Trump and Mamdani share is, of course, their love for New York. Trump's lived there for decades, and Mamdani is now its mayor. So I think that will definitely be the common jumping off point that will, you know, make sure that those men sit together and try and figure out what's best for New York. But of course, they're going to have very different visions of what that looks like.
Yeah, we also know that New York is already attacking, in so many words, high business and high income earners. Could federal dollars be next with regard to what's taken away?
Well, absolutely, because as you mentioned, of course, those business dollars are already bleeding out of New York. You have high net worth individuals saying that they are going to be leaving New York. And then, you know, even you look at even some Trump allies, for example, Grant Cardone, the entrepreneur, you know, he used to hold events in New York and even before Mamdani, but he saw where that city was headed and he's not hosted any events in New York in the past couple of years. So I think that's, you know, that's pretty significant. And I think that there'll be more business leaders that follow suit. But there also have been others, like, for example, Jamie Dimon, or also Bill, excuse me, just folks like Jamie Dimon, you know, they have already said that they're willing to work with Mamdani, of course, and Bill Ackman. Sorry, the name was totally escaping me. Bill Ackman is, you know, one that was one of his biggest critics, and also is, you know, now coming out. I wouldn't necessarily say in support of him, but also kind of extending an olive branch. And, you know, this is also interesting because a lot of the tensions that we've seen in New York have been within the Democrat Party. Of course, former Governor Andrew Cuomo was Mamdani's opponent, and Trump actually went in with a last-minute endorsement of Mamdani, which I think raised eyebrows, you know, to some, particularly in the Mamdani wing of the Democrat Party. That was kind of part of Cuomo's death sentence in that campaign, was that Trump endorsement. And so, you know, I think having that last minute endorsement as well, when, you know, Trump, I think, should have really just stayed neutral. There wasn't really any way that he was going to win any favors. And he also likes the people that he endorses to win. And so, you know, maybe he thought he could be that last minute difference maker. But of course, Mamdani was able to pull that win through just a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Victoria, I'm standing here and I'm thinking back to that meeting with, Ukrainian President Zelensky, the two sitting side by side, and you could cut the tension in that room with a knife. Yet again, do you think perhaps we will see just that once this meeting gets underway at 3 p.m. later today?
You know, it definitely might be tense, but I think also outside of their love of New York, the other thing that these two can connect on is that even though they are on the polar opposite of the political spectrum, they are actually both kind of that populist nature candidate. So they will both think that they are bringing the will of the people that they represent into that meeting. And so I think that's also, you know, a potential point of common ground for the two of them. But, you know, also Donald Trump effectively is everything that Zohran Mamdani hates about America. So You know, he's a billionaire, he's wealthy, he owns a lot of property in New York, right? One of Mamdani's biggest attacks during the campaign was on people that own property, people that are landlords, and of course that's how Trump built his wealth. So, you know, I think if I'm Donald Trump, I'm going to try and talk some sense into him, but if I'm Mamdani, I'm going to try and stand my ground.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this meeting to take place yet again, which will happen at 3 p.m. later today. We've been speaking with Young Voices spokesperson Victoria Churchill, joining us on the Live Zone. Make it a great weekend, Victoria. Well, the administration's consideration of a 50-year fixed mortgage rate is being sold as a path to cheaper monthly payments. But economists warn it may lock millions into lifelong debt. Joining us to discuss this and so much more is Young Voices senior contributor Tyler Curtis on the Live Zone. Good to see you, Mr. Curtis. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Hey, it's called the Friday Gremlin. Sometimes you just got to press that button right there. So it's no secret. A lot of folks talking about this 50-year fixed mortgage. From the jump, is it a good thing or a bad thing in your mind?
Well, I think overall it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing both for borrowers, it's a bad thing for banks that would offer them, and it's a bad thing for the economy at large. 50-year mortgage, it seems like, hey, we add an extra 20 years to the typical 30-year mortgage, it's going to lower my payments. I'll finally be able to afford a home and achieve the American dream. But in reality, because not only would interest rates most likely be higher on a 50-year mortgage because it carries so much more risk than your typical 30, 20, or 15-year. And because interest is typically front-loaded on a loan when you do the mortgage calculations. It may save the average borrower $200 to $300 a month, even if interest rates were completely the same as a 30-year mortgage. But if they're not, the savings may be totally non-existent. Actually, the senior economist at Moody's Analytics just came out with a warning yesterday, saying that because of the increased risk of a 50-year mortgage, that the interest rate may be so much higher than a 30-year that the payments may end up being exactly the same. So not only would it not be very good for borrowers, it really isn't good for the economy at large either.
Yeah. So, Tyler, it's no secret. President Trump knows all things with regard to real estate. And so it's hard to assume that this would be a bad thing if he presents it knowing that he has the knowledge surrounding just that, real estate. What say you?
Well, I would say that Trump is really the consummate salesperson. He is not necessarily looking at how much risk this adds to the economy or how volatile this makes the banking industry. He's more focused on how this affects the individual buyer. So he's thinking, hey, a longer term loan will allow someone to make lower payments, they'll be able to afford it. So he's focused. If you've ever talked to a salesperson before, they're always talking about, hey, easy payments of $19.99 a month, right? So he's focused on that, but I don't think that he's necessarily thinking about the long-term implications about how this will affect borrowers' ability to build equity in their homes, or about how this is going to affect the stability of the banking industry. You've got people that are trying to pay their mortgages over the course of half a century. They're building equity extremely slowly. By the time that they want to move in 7 to 10 years, they will have basically no equity in their homes. If they default on those mortgages at some point in the future, let's say, God forbid, there's a recession, if they default on those mortgages, the banks are going to be left holding the bag. They may very well be upside down in these assets if there were to be a housing crash. So I just don't think that Trump, which honestly is kind of typical for him, I don't think he's necessarily thinking about the long-term implications that this product would cause.
Yeah, well, we'll have to leave it right there. And yet again, I guess we'll just have to wait and see if it actually comes to fruition. We've been speaking with Tyler Curtis, Young Voices senior contributor, right here on the Live Zone. Make it a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take our first break. Hey, on the flip side of the break, let's have a little fun, shall we? You've seen her on The Real Housewives of Miami. Now she joins us right here on the Live Zone. None other than Gertie Abrera. Next, right here on the LZ. We'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Look who stepped into the building. Ladies and gentlemen, she needs no introduction. You see her on your TV. She's an event planner extraordinaire, and she's just downright cool. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Gertie Abrera, joining us right here on the Live Zone.
Said perfectly. How are you this morning?
I am doing just fine. Good to see you. I can't believe you're here live in person.
I love DC.
Do you?
I love DC. I love this place. My husband hasn't been yet, but you know what? Maybe we'll do a nice little getaway, a staycation here.
It's so funny. I asked our guy, Matt, on the way over here, I said, she's Haitian, isn't she? And he said, yeah. So with that, I say, sac up fait.
No, sac up fait. I thought you were going to say sac passé, but it's the same thing.
All right.
Not boulé.
Not boulé.
Yes.
It's so funny. Early on, when I was, my best friend happens to be Haitian. We would go out and he said, Guy, just say that to a girl and you're good to go.
Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss, the kiss method.
I love all things about you. Obviously, we get a chance to see you on The Real Housewives of Miami, but you're so much more than that. I don't, and don't take that in the wrong way. I just look at what you've done, what you've been through, and where you're going.
Yes.
Speak to that, especially your journey with regard to your health issues that you had early on.
Yes. I mean, listen, I was a party planner for 20 plus years before the show, so I already had a brand, and the show definitely gave me a platform to, amplify that and amplify my voice in different sectors as well. So, I had a big life, and some people call it a movie. From Haiti, I was born, and then I lived in France, and then came to the U.S., and so I was always revamping myself, and that took a lot of toll on me, and also a lot of trauma.
Wow.
And it's not about staying in the trauma and the pain. It's about turning pain into purpose. Recently, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. I beat it, but people don't understand that the aftermath after that is really grueling, and not only physically but also mentally. And it affects everyone in the family. So my husband, I call him a caregiver. I'm a survivor.
I love
my
that.
kids also. And now we're dealing with the PTSD afterwards. Writing this book, I did this one therapy session at a time. That's how I wrote my memoir. Because you're so in it emotionally that it's fresh and you start writing and it makes all sense in the world. So my therapist helped me find my words. Like, that's your core memory. That's the traumatic experience. That's why you're a control freak. So everything in the web just started making sense.
Oh my gosh! Can I grab this for 1 second?
Oh my gosh!
I want
of
folks
course.
to see this. So this is.
I designed it myself.
Did you?
I wrote it myself.
We get real on this show. You see it right here, guys. It says from trauma to trophies. It is truly one of a kind. And I love the cover, by the way. And then look at the back. How cool is that? So you said one therapy session at a time. At what point did you realize, you know what, I got to put pen to paper. I need to share this story.
Immediately.
Really?
Immediately, because as I'm telling her my story, and she's like, tell me the first memory that you remember that was traumatic for you. And I told her the story of when my grandmother, who's illiterate, she could not write or read, she got lost in a complex building of our new apartment, and she couldn't find where we were. We sat there for hours. I was only 3, 4, and sitting on the floor and having people come up and looking down on us and just being like, like ignoring us. That left a mark on me, saying to myself, apparently through her words, that was an uncontrollable situation, and that's mentally my core memory of like, I will never be here on the floor. And it created this OCD control freak, thus me being the party planner extraordinaire that you know of. And so all these things, I'm like, the aha moments just kept coming up, and I'm like, okay, stop 1 second, let me write this down. And later on, I wrote my little essay, and that's how you write a memoir. That's a new way to writing a memoir, okay?
And you do it all so well. I'm curious, the take from folks that you have encountered, meaning there are so many people that know you from the show, but now it's a different audience, if you will. You are reaching so many others that perhaps shared that trauma that you had at one point. What are they saying?
Oh my gosh, they see me in them. Like one person said, I read your book 4.5 hours on a plane, on a train ride. I couldn't put this down, Gertie. I cried, I'm laughing hysterically. People think I'm crazy. And I was like, that's what I wanted this book to do. Wow. I wrote it for me, but I knew I was writing it for everybody else, because this book is not a cancer book. You could be going through a divorce. You could be going through a loss. It's all trauma. It's traumatic. There's 2 love languages, right? There's 2 universal languages, love and pain. And pain is trauma or whatever it is. And it shows up in any way, shape, or form, and it triggers you. So that's the key, is to know how to acknowledge it and then try to fix it so that you can fix yourself.
Yeah. I'm curious, and I just got to ask, when you were going through all of it, I feel your energy. You're just such a positive person. Is that needed in order to beat cancer? And I bring that up because there happened to be a buddy of mine, stage 4 cancer. They said he was going to die. He said, I'm not going to die. and he beat it, and the doctor said, you are the only person that I know of, stage 4, that's ever beat it. And it was all about positive energy. That's what I get from you.
Manifestation, I believe in that for sure. And it's like, I knew I was going to beat it, even though the first chemo session, I ended up having a full allergic reaction to the chemo. But like, you know, you have to say to yourself, who's in charge here? And this is where the let me theory comes into place. After writing this book, something happened on the show, and it was kind of like, when you're in the Bravo sphere, the Bravo world, you know, everyone's expecting the reunion to be the place where it's like, put a bow on it, everyone hugs, everyone, and I'm like, that's too fast for me. I'm not ready for that, especially when the apology is not coming full-bodied. It's coming halfway. And I said to myself, you know what, let me choose what I'm going to do with this situation, not let them. So Mel Robbins, I love you. I love you. I'm going to let them do what they want to do, but guess what? I'm going to have to take ownership of myself and my action to create my peace. And for me to do that, I've got to let me do what I got to do.
Yeah. And that is shine like you do also well.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's so awesome. And I'm so glad you got a chance to come on the show.
And
by the way,
by the way, the first of its kind to have QR codes per chapter. So as you're reading this, literally every single chapter has a QR code.
Oh, wow.
And it takes you through more imagery and experiential, links.
At that.
Yeah, I wanted it to be a Gertie-fied production.
Oh,
It's a Gertie-fied world. Let's go. Like, you're just living in it.
I got to get my bank account out. Meaning, I got to hire you to do a party. It will be extraordinaire.
Absolutely. Honey. Get in line now.
Obviously, you are doing all things greatness, and you get a chance for you at home if you want to check out none other than Gertie. You can do so later today. Busboys and Poet. Did I say it right? Busboy and Poet?
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's at the Monroe location, the one in Northeast DC. If you live here, you know which one I'm talking about. I cannot wait to check you out. It's from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. this evening. You see it right there on your TV screen. So
it's going to be fun.
We got to get a QR code so people can click on that. If you got it in the book, we got to get one for our show as well.
Yes, and I'm going to have a few of the housewives from Potomac.
Really?
Of course.
Wow.
I mean, we're family at this point, right? No matter the franchise.
Do you enjoy that? Meaning, obviously, you're a part of the Miami franchise, but how easy is it for you to befriend someone in another franchise?
I love it.
Really?
I love it. Oh my God. I feel like I connect with them a lot easier than some of my cast sometimes. I really do. Because we just have different experiences, and coming together to share them is really, really cool. So I was at BravoCon where I sold out on my book there. And a lot of the girls were so friendly, and they were like, I see you in me. I went through the same thing with my girls in my group. So it was very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and it's one of a kind.
Yes.
That's because she's Gertie Herrera joining us right here on the Live Zone. I truly appreciate you. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. As Jewish students face rising anti-Semitism in public schools across America, one organization has emerged as a national force in supporting and empowering teens on the front lines. Joining us now is Rabbi Micah Greenland, the International Director of NCSY, which oversees more than 515 Jewish student union clubs operating inside public schools nationwide. I should make mention, Rabbi Greenland was in D.C. earlier this week for the Jewish Federation's General Assembly, where he briefed leaders and policymakers. He now joins us right here on the Live Zone. Rabbi, I truly appreciate you being patient, and welcome to the show.
Absolutely, Guy. Great to be with you.
Obviously, you were here in the nation's capital earlier this week to speak to the GA with the national leaders. I'm curious, what happened to be some of the biggest concerns raised during that meeting?
Certainly, anti-Semitism is on everybody's mind, both the angle of ensuring that our institutions are safe and ensuring that we are building bridges and fostering understanding in quarters where it may not be as well understood as it needs to be, that Jewish citizens living and working alongside non-Jewish citizens of the United States, something that has been happening for hundreds of years, but seems to be at a boiling point in certain instances now. That was definitely a significant concern. In addition to just questions of Jewish engagement and Jewish education within the community, as well as lastly the war in Israel and between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, and the ongoing concern of how that's going to play out going forward.
You heard me make mention that the NCSY now running some 515 clubs nationwide. What are the teens that you get a chance to speak to? What are they saying? What are they talking about right now?
It's fascinating. They are feeling isolated and threatened and bullied and intimidated within their own high school spaces. And those were spaces where the entire school had felt to them like their community, as it should. But since October 7th, 2 years ago, there's been a steady increasing rise in these students being bullied, threatened, and intimidated by their peers, and reaching out to us to say, I would like a Jewish culture club to take place in my school. Could JSU, Jewish Student Union, which is a program of ours, could you help me facilitate a Jewish club in my school where non-Jewish allies and Jewish students can get together and learn about Jewish life and create a sense of community, a sub-community within this greater school community.
Yeah.
And that's really what they're looking for, is a place where they can be proudly themselves, learn more, engage more, connect more, find meaning and community in a space where it once felt that the entire school was such a safe space for them. And now, these last couple of years, it's felt that they need a sub-community because the greater community is less open and less welcoming than it used to be.
Yeah, that is definitely evident. Rabbi, I have about a minute left, and with that, I'd like to ask you, what support or policy shifts are really needed in order to, move the fight forward, and that is to combat anti-Semitism?
The first is recognizing when speech is not just speech, but it's calls to violent action. And these things, as I know President Trump will be meeting with Mayor-elect Mamdani this afternoon, the phrase globalize the Intifada, that is a call to violent action, and it's something that needs to be recognized as such and enforced as such by our law enforcement. That's one aspect of policy. The other aspect is simply the recognition by all American citizens that the America that we love, the America that is tolerant and loving and accepting of all of its citizens, is an America that can still exist here, and that we can do that in our own communities, and we can do that on a broader scale by building bridges with those who are not necessarily like us religiously or ethnically or racially, and making sure that we're treating everybody with compassion and respect.
Well said. Yet again, we have been speaking with Rabbi Micah Greenland, kind enough to join us on the Live Zone. I truly appreciate you being patient, my friend.
My pleasure. Thank you, Guy. Great to be on with you.
All right, folks. Well, come one, come all. It's time for the second annual Sounds of the City, a holiday event that's taking place in the downtown holiday market on F Street. It's all spearheaded by the Office of Cable, Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. Joining us is, well, the woman at the helm, none other than LaToya Foster, back here on the Live Zone. Cello, my friend.
Hello, my guy. How are you? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Hey, it's official. Why? Because we have now kicked off the second annual Sounds of the City. Oh, do tell.
That's right. Sounds of the City is back by popular demand. Come one, come all to the downtown holiday market. We're going to have a time every weekend. Well, I'll tell you, just come down there every day, right? Support our vendors, support local, but you can expect to hear the Sounds of the City, powered by the Office of Cable, Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment, every Saturday, kicking off tomorrow through December 20th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. You don't want to miss this guy. Last year, let me tell you, we had people coming over from the Capitals games, from the Wizards games, and it was just a fa la 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 good time. We're going to have gospel to go and everything in between. We're going to have a jazzy Christmas, and we just want everyone to come out and experience that. It is such a spirit lifter. It's a great time. We're all coming together. Just you're keeping each one of us up and just very robust. So we can't tell you, just come on, and you know how we do. You know how we do it, Guy. It's free. It's free.
I was waiting for that part, LaToya. Yeah.
You know what we do, Guy?
That is just so awesome. And so with that being said, I'm hoping you could expand just a little bit. What am I going to be surrounded by, LaToya, once I arrive? What am I going to see? What are the smells, perhaps?
So I'm going to walk you through this, right? When you enter, first you're going to be met by that beautiful golden North Star, right? I mean, that's going to get you in that feel-good spirit from the giddy up. You're going to come in, you're going to see that stage with all types of activities and entertainment, as I was stating, from gospel to go-go, and youth as well, because Mayor Bowser said, you know what, we've got to have family-friendly events. So you're going to see a lot of youth out there as well. You are going to see local vendors who we want to support during this time of year. There's going to be hot cocoa, all types of food, and let me just think about cinnamon and chocolate and peppermint and all the goodies that we get ready for when we're getting ready for the holidays. That's what you're going to experience, and you're going to feel like, what can I say? It's almost like a family feel, like everyone is smiling, everyone is happy, everyone is robust, everyone is excited. And that's what we need right now. We're in some unusual times. We want everyone to feel unified, to come together, to experience the beauty of the nation's capital, to support our local vendors here at the downtown holiday market, and come be entertained. Sing along with us, dance along with us. Let's have a good time. Your pets are welcome. Bring your pets down. Let's have a good time, everyone. It's the season to be jolly, and you can learn more if you go right here to the Downtown Holiday Market gift guide. You can learn everything I'm talking about and so much more. Big shout out to Jaron Price at the Downtown DC Bid, the president of the Downtown DC Bid, and his entire team. Just about an hour ago, Mayor Bowser and President Price kicked things off at the holiday market. So we can't tell you enough. Come one, come all, come many. Do not keep it a secret. Tell your friends, not only here in this area, but tell them from out of town. Come down to DC and enjoy the nation's capital during the holiday season.
I am so excited about this. Yet again, it's dubbed the second annual Sounds of the City, and the only thing that happens to be missing is YOU. I cannot wait to check you out.
I love it, Guy.
All right, Miss LaToya Foster, Director of the award-winning DC Office of Cable, Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
The pleasure is all mine, Guy. And keep me on the list for all those good holiday parties. You know where they all are.
You bet. Plenty of apple cider all around. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Well, it's no secret, Thanksgiving is the busiest holiday for travel and also one of the deadliest in the U.S., specifically with regard to driving and on the roads. Last year, AAA projected a record 71.7 million Americans would travel by car over the long weekend, and even more drivers are expected this year. But with more traffic comes greater risk. In 2023 alone, 309 people were killed in Thanksgiving weekend crashes. To help raise awareness and share the science behind seatbelt safety, I'm pleased to say that we're joined by Mr. Adam Myers. He is the Manager in Safety of Technology Strategy right here on the Live Zone. Mr. Myers, good to see you, sir, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, Guy. I really appreciate you helping us spread the word around seatbelt usage and seatbelt safety. We want to tell everyone to buckle up every ride and every seat. And like you mentioned, Thanksgiving is the busiest holiday for travel. And so next week, millions of Americans will be hitting the road, visiting family and friends. And so we want to tell everyone to buckle up, use their seatbelt, every seat, every ride.
Yeah.
And according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administrator, front row seatbelt usage is pretty high, about 90%. But as you get into the second and third rows, we see that seatbelt usage dramatically declines. It just remains far too low. So we want to make sure that the rear seatbelt passengers are buckled up every ride, every seat. And not only that, but to make sure it's worn correctly. We want to make sure that that seatbelt is placed across the shoulder, low across the lap. And we know that properly worn seatbelts can reduce fatalities by 45%.
Wow.
So we want to make sure that that not only yourself is buckled, but all of your passengers. You know, there's a false sense of security in the rear seats, but the truth is that almost half of in-vehicle fatalities involve unbuckled passengers in the rear seat. So make sure that you're buckled up, your rear seat passengers are buckled up, every ride, every seat.
Yeah. You know what, Adam? I would say we are definitely creatures of habit. And I bring that up because I was riding an Uber. Was it last night or the night before? And obviously I get in the back seat and I hear a tone. It says, please buckle your seatbelt. And I thought to myself, I'm in the back seat. Why would I need to do just that? But to your point, yes, we want to create safety. And so I think I will now continue to do just that, buckle up while in the back seat and make it a habit. Perhaps our viewers should do the same thing.
Yeah, Guy, I'm glad that you brought that up because GM offers many advanced vehicle technologies like buckle to drive, which is standard on model year 25 and 26 vehicles, where when it's activated, it prevents the vehicle from shifting out of park until the driver's seatbelt is buckled. And that really helps encourage this habitual behavior so that buckling up just becomes automatic. But like you mentioned, being in the rear seat, we offer a technology called Rear Seatbelt Reminder, which is available on many GM vehicles. And this displays an icon on the instrument cluster, which shows which rear seat passengers are buckled and which ones are not.
Wow.
Including even the third row. And if a rear seat passenger unbuckles while you're driving, well, then you'll see a red X icon right on the instrument cluster, and you'll hear a safety chime. It's really simple, but it's a powerful feature to help everyone remain buckled.
Yeah, gone are the days of my sister or my brother tattletaling on me. I guess now it's the car does it itself, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Even for teen drivers, we have a teen driver technology that we offer on our GM products, and it integrates this buckle to drive. But the powerful element with this feature is that when Teen Driver is used, it also activates certain safety systems, such as muting the radio. And we all know how much teens love their audio, but it will mute the radio until the front seat occupants are buckled up.
Absolutely love this. And yet again, it's a proof in the pudding that GM cares all things about safety. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I am so
safety is our highest priority, and so thanks for helping us spread the word. We want seatbelts to be used. Seatbelts save lives. So buckle up every ride, every seat.
Yeah, everybody wants to make their way over to Grandma's house this upcoming Thanksgiving, so let's just make sure we do it safely. Yet again, we have been speaking with Mr. Adam Myers. We truly appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. Hey, on the flip side of this break, we're talking about shopping, but not just regular shopping. In this case, using AI. Apparently, it's all the rage. It's coming up next, right here on the Live Zone. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Well, spending pressures are at an all-time high. And guess what? Dare I say the holidays are right around the corner, so it will probably get worse. Now there's new data from Experian that shows that AI is playing a major role in this year's shopping trends. Joining us to discuss this and so much more is Mr. Rod Griffin, Senior Director of Consumer Education and Advocacy for Experian. Rod, good to see you, sir, and welcome to the show.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, but of course. So, Rod, 2 out of 3 consumers are now looking into how to use AI with regard to holiday shopping and making it so much more jollier.
That's true. And we did a survey. 63% of people told us they're open to using AI. 86% of those who did say they kind of like having AI as their holiday shopping elf. It's a great tool for things like comparison shopping for the best prices. It's a great tool for finding the best prices in the first place. And it's also a great tool if you're looking for the tools you want to use to pay for those holiday purchases. Things like credit cards, if you're thinking about applying for a card at a store, trying to find the best interest rates or perhaps discounts on purchases. And Experian can actually help you with that. We have an AI called Eva, Experian's virtual assistant, that can help you if you're looking for the right tools to shop for the best rates and the best card offers for you, and it can do it without you having to worry about your credit report. So there's something called no ding decline. So it's a great tool for just about every aspect of shopping this holiday season, which is now at the corner. I don't think we're getting to the corner. We're probably turning around it.
When I think of the holidays, I think of all things elves, if you will. I love them dearly. But I would probably have to say that AI has become the new elf, correct?
It has, yeah. And it's a hugely powerful tool when you use it well. You know, Ava, our AI, can, as I said, can help you find in our marketplace for credit cards the best rates, the best terms, and can do it without having to worry about affecting your credit history through our no ding decline service. It's also a great tool if you use it well, perhaps to help you find the right gifts for the people you love. I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking about asking an AI about what to get my wife. I'm afraid it will have better options than I would. I'm a little nervous about that. But
yeah, Rod. You got to be careful there, Rod. But then again, I guess you could blame AI if it does not go well. And we'll see how that turns out for you as well. Hey, so I'm curious, what about some other holiday money tips perhaps you could provide?
Yeah, sure. So the people we surveyed said that about half of them are planning to pay for their purchases in cash. 44% told us they plan to use a combination of cash and credit. And so I think that's probably true for most people, that it will be a combination of cash and credit. So finding the best tools is is kind of key to optimizing your holiday shopping and making sure you're not carrying debts from purchases this year into next year. We want to make sure that people are using their credit well and not taking on debts they can't afford. So shopping for the best rates. I often recommend that if you're planning to use credit, it kind of be like Santa, not quite as literally as I am, kind of getting gray in the beard and rounder in the middle, but keep a list, check it twice, make sure that you stay on track and stick to a budget. And again, if you're thinking about using credit, apply for the 1 or 2 stores that are best for you, that offer the best discounts or cashback terms that you're looking for, so that you're not taking on too much credit and you're using it to give you a financial advantage.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I think about when I have cash on my person, if you will, and I'm limited, meaning when it's all gone, that's it. However, when I have that credit card there, Rod, for some reason I just keep on swiping and swiping.
You can, and it can be very tempting. And again, that's why we always recommend, make sure you have a budget, know what you're going to buy, have that list, check it twice or 3 or 4 times, carry it with you when you're shopping, so that if you see those sales that look really tempting, you can look at the list and tell yourself, hey, I need to exercise some self-restraint and make sure that I'm not spending beyond the budget that I sent. I also recommend that you talk to your family and friends now, or even before now, about what you want to limit your shopping to, the amounts that you can spend, so that everybody's comfortable among your family and friends with what they spend. I think when we look at inflation, people tell us they're concerned about being able to stay within their budget because of increasing costs. So talking to each other, being honest about where you are and what you can afford, will probably make your family and friends feel relieved too, because they're feeling the same pressures.
Yeah, yet again, all things AI. We'll end with this, Rod, and that is, I'm thinking, at what point should one utilize it? Meaning, should I just show up at the mall and at that time say, you know what, perhaps I should call upon AI, or is it something that I should do prior to leaving the home?
I think you do it in both instances. You know, if you're planning to shop, use AI to ask, you know, for things like comparison shopping. If you have that list, go down the list, see what the best rates are, or the best prices are among retailers. AI can help you with that when you enter that, or ask an AI for help. And be prepared as you go to the store. When you get to the retailer, if you see things that might fit into your budget, or you're thinking about purchasing it, check with the AI on the spot. Ask if it's the best rate available at this store, or if there's a price that's better somewhere else. And you might be able to save some money that way as well. So it's a great tool to have prior to shopping and to use while you're at the retailer in that store and selecting items for your family and friends.
I think that's when I'll utilize it, and I cannot wait. By the way, let me know how it turns out with you and your wife with regard to that AI suggestion.
Yeah. I will do that. Maybe.
Yet again, Mr. Rod Griffin, Senior Director of Consumer Education and Advocacy for Experian. We truly appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on the show. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. We are 3 minutes away from the top of the hour. Earlier today, I had a chance to sit in on Celebrity Dish on Good Day DC with actress Kim Whitley and Flex Alexander. I bring him up because he's going to join us in just about 3 minutes or so. But first, Joey, go ahead and pull your camera up real quick. I want you to see this as I kick to it. So earlier today, as I sat there, Kim got a little up close and personal. Did you get a chance to see it?
I really enjoyed this. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Let's do it.
Let's go. That's a ripe tomato. Are you married?
I am not.
Okay, so you see me at the club in my tomato dress.
I'm gonna do this.
You're going with cranberry.
Excuse me, Marissa. I'm coming over. Here we go. Hey, look, we kind of match a little bit. Here we go.
That goes well. Tomato, and you are the eggplant.
Eggplant.
You said eggplant.
Eggplant. Oh, okay. Well, that's a different story.
There's definitely a joke in there. It's pretty good. Like, y'all will sit back down over there now.
Hey, you better be careful.
Your lawsuit.
Okay,
It's a family show.
Be careful with this one.
You better tell them. Oh, my reputation.
And that's what you call getting up close and personal.
Yeah. What do you call that move? Like, what is the name of that?
That was the slip and slide move. I'm waiting for my email from HR stating that perhaps I need to meet them upstairs.
It's like, can we?
Oh, gosh. She is just so cool. But yet again, she happened to be here in the nation's capital last night and still hanging around. Speaking of hanging around, so is Flex. You saw him on the couch. You're going to see him right here in studio next. We'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Oh, my gosh, look who stepped in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, he needs no introduction. Actor, comedian, I could go on and on, but he's the man with the master plan. Flex Alexander on the Live Zone. What's up, my man?
Guess who stepped in the room?
Man, it is such an honor to have you on the show, brother.
Thank you, brother.
What does it mean to you that, it's funny, you're sitting right here, but I'm like, I used to watch this guy. You were a part of my 20s, I should say, and to see you live in person and to think that you were so influential, if you will, with regard to what you presented, what you pushed, and how I turned out as a result of that. What does that mean to you?
Wow, first, thank you for that, man. It means a lot. You know, I've been getting just a lot of people coming up to me and telling me how I played such a big child in there, whether it's their childhood or it's, you know, their teenage years. Girls telling me, hey, my dad raised me and our time together was watching your show and I learned a lot. I've had fathers tell me that. So it just confirms that the show that I created, the idea that I had, it was for the right time because I wanted to show Black men taking care of their responsibilities and not being put off as deadbeat fathers.
You said the show that you created, and I really want to put a stamp on that. And when you created it, it came at a time where, let's just be real, folks that look like you and I, that wasn't necessarily really accepted. How did you get past it all?
Well, you know, it was a lot. I had a few Hollywood lessons, tough ones, but I just, my team, it was the idea I had, and we just pushed it, pitched it, and the whole process is you find a writer, and then that writer goes and then writes your idea. But at the time, I didn't understand that I should have protected my idea and all that stuff. So then the guild recognizes the person who sat down and physically put fingers to keys. You know, and I learned a tough lesson, but we did some great work. She was actually from Baltimore. She was a sports writer here. Unetta T. Boone, God rest her soul, she passed away. But we did something great. Everything was great except that last season.
I wouldn't
that
say
last
man.
season when they wanted to send her to L.A. and all that stuff, and they had all, you know, the house with Ray J and all these people. It went a different way. And then you took away, you know, my Dwayne, and you took away spirit on the show and all that, and it just became a different show, and I knew it was time to go.
Wow. Well, it was time for you to go, but you came back in a major way. In this case,
yes.
back on the road, stand up, my
Back to
man.
my first love, man.
Really?
Yes, my first love. I started stand up in 1989, and when I started to do one-on-one, I had my daughter, and it was just tough trying to leave. I'm filming 3 weeks. That week off, I'm going to hit the road. And I just I don't want to do this. DL always told me, he said, man, later for them damn kids. But, I said I didn't want to come home, my kid not know who I am.
Wow.
So I chose to stay home, and then I was making the money, so I didn't have to go chase it, but I missed stand-up. And my good buddy, Chris Spencer, told me you need to get back on stage, and then I just started to slowly build back up. I took a 14-year break.
Wow.
Yeah, 14-year break.
And so during that time, what happens? Do you reflect? Do you write new material?
Yeah, it all just writes itself, because what I talked about in my 20s, 30s were different. Now I'm married, now I have kids. That whole life takes over, and juggling the marriage, juggling kids, driving, school drop-offs, pickups, this, that. And I just had a wealth of material that just naturally came. I'm not one of those guys who just, I can just grab stuff out of the air. It has to hit me, So I talk about that. I talk about now, being 55 and what that's like, when the check engine light is on.
Your knees are popping.
Yeah, the check engine light comes on. You're like, yo, man, I gotta check that out. So, all those things, but it's a funny take on it. You know what I mean? And I don't say getting older, I just say seasoned.
Right.
Yeah.
How does it feel to know that when you're on stage, you got guys and gals in the audience looking at you like this? Oh my God, that's really him. Meaning, we still love you, my man. We still want to show up and support you in a major way.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate all the support. It's almost like, in a sense, starting over for me with stand-up, because I missed a generation that was with me when I took that break. So a lot of people don't know that I do stand-up. So some people are coming out of curiosity, thinking I'm like, oh, he's just trying stand-up. Like, no, I started in '89, and I really did this,
Wow.
So I've done Def Jam, Showtime at the Apollo, all the stand-up shows that you could do. And but returning to that is I think the most gratifying, because you get to be yourself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, where we are now in society, it's a sensitive society, and you can't really speak the way you want to speak. And those who do are canceled, cast out, and it's like, what are we doing? Our job as comedians, we talk about the pain you hide,
Wow.
and we talk about the things that other people think about, but they're scared to speak. That's why people laugh, because they go, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's the magic of comedy, So
That's amazing.
Yeah, I just try to tell my story and my family, and I just have fun, man. I don't attack people. I don't do that stuff, But if somebody mess with me, I got the bullets, baby. I'll be ready.
Not one, not two, not three, but 4 shows this weekend.
4 shows at the DC Comedy Loft, 7:30 and 9:45, both nights, Friday and Saturday.
Nice. We'll end with this, and that is something special about DC.
Yeah, I love DC. I used to drive up back in the day when Puffy used to give his parties up at Howard. These were
what parties?
The Disney parties.
Okay.
So these were the Disney version. I used to come up, and I was a dancer, so a lot of friends up here, man. Like, DC always holds a special place for me. DC is nothing but love. I'm working to put together next year, doing a special, and I would love for DC to be one of those cities I shoot it in.
How cool is that? Well,
Yes.
let's bring it into fruition,
Yes,
if you will.
yes, sir.
Yet again, the one, the only, Flex Alexander joining us right here on the Live Zone. I truly appreciate you, my man. I'm going to let that one slide. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. I am so excited about this. I'm making reference to the Blake Bozeman Foundation presenting the inaugural HBCU in DC tip-off experience. It's all set to get underway this upcoming Wednesday, the 26th, at the Care First Arena, featuring Virginia State University taking on Delaware State University with the tip-off at 2:30. Here to tell us all about it happens to be Mr. Todd Bozeman, CEO and founder of the Blake Bozeman Foundation Incorporated. Mr. Bozeman, good to see you, my friend, and welcome to the show.
Good to see you, Guy. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Appreciate you allowing us an opportunity to tell people about the foundation, which we started in honor of our son, Blake Bozeman, who unfortunately, tragically was taken away from us 2 years ago, September 23rd of 2023. And the foundation is set up to advocate for mental health, wellness, financial literacy, gun violence, education, and to build character development.
Yeah.
So everything is in honor of Blake and kind of in the spirit of Blake.
Yeah, I believe this is my first time, sir, speaking with you since the loss of your son, and so I'd like to give you our condolences here at Fox 5. I remember when that story broke, and it just really shook the community, which speaks volumes, if you will, with regard to what your son meant to this community and what you mean to it as well, meaning you happen to be his father. Obviously, he had great values that, as they say, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. What does it mean to you to know that so many folks right here in this area remember your son, cherish your son, and want to continue to honor him?
It means a lot. It really does. And, you know, we get people that come up to us all the time and tell us that they met our son, they knew our son. He either helped, and a lot of people he helped get into their first time, become first time home buyers. So he was an award-winning realtor as well. But he had multiple businesses, wrote a book on how to start a vending machine business. He was very involved in the community. So it means a lot for people to remember him. We get calls all the time. It's a tremendous loss. I can't even begin to tell you the significance of it and how painful it's been, but it's an everyday occurrence for us. I mean, an everyday occurrence. But, you know, he had an organization called the Pivot Group, which he helped young athletes pivot from the athletics to the business world or corporate world, which all athletes have to come to that realization at some point in time. So he had a big heart, and he was a generous person, and he was always for the underdog. So this event that we're having, like I said, we started the foundation, but just so people know, if they want to donate, they could go to www.theblakeBozemanFoundation.org. And this event, it's a I don't want to say a celebration, but it's an honor of Blake and the significance of it. HBCU, he was an HBCU athlete playing at Morgan State University. It's at Care First Arena, which it's in Ward 8. He was a Ward 8 resident. He has a home right on Alabama Avenue. So there's a lot of ties there. And we're excited about the fact that we have this event, and Virginia State and Dell State agreed to participate in it. HBCU Go is going to broadcast the game. We have a vibe band playing after the game. Brian Lanier, the saxophonist, is doing the national anthem for us. Jump DC is participating at halftime. We have speakers. We have for financial literacy, gun violence education, and mental health awareness. And it's just going to be an event. And again, it's all in honor of Blake.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. Not only are we talking all things basketball, but what you've done is you've really been able to address the needs of the people. And I'm making reference to mental wellness, financial literacy, as you just talked about, and gun violence prevention. Yet again, yes, we're talking basketball, but you were able to grab the folks with basketball and then make sure you hit a home run with other issues that affect our community.
Again, it's all in the spirit of Blake. So a lot of times mental health, it ends up being a I don't want to say a benefactor, that's not the right word, but it ends up affecting or being associated with gun violence. And so that's one of those pillars. But you're right. And then the financial literacy, you know, people can always use that. We really focus on youth And when we say youth, we're talking 8 to 24. And people might think 24, you're an adult, but you according to Obamacare, you're still on your parents' insurance. So,
well, I tell you, I'm way past that age, but I'd love to be on their insurance, so I wouldn't have to pay for it. But that's a whole nother story. Folks that want to show up and show out, what do they need to do? Is it all about purchasing a ticket, and how do I do so?
Well, you can purchase a ticket either by going by the box office over at Care First Arena or going to www.theblakeBozemanFoundation.org. And there's a donate button. If you can't attend the event, there's a donate button, but there also is a button for you to purchase tickets. But you could also go to the box office, and it avoids all those extra fees. And that's it. You're funding and helping an organization and to a good cause. So again, and you have a band playing afterwards, a go-go band, which is outstanding, vibe band. They're outstanding, but that's how people can participate or contribute. And if you can't make it, you can watch it on HBCU Go because it'll be broadcast live.
Absolutely love it and absolutely love what you're doing. Yet again, it's the upcoming The Blake Bozeman Foundation presenting the inaugural HBCU in DC tip-off experience set to get underway this upcoming Wednesday beginning at 2:30. Sir, I truly appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on the show and continued success to you.
Thank you very much, Guy. I appreciate it.
You bet. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. Hey, on the flip side of that break, let's talk about what to watch this weekend. Producer Chris joins us next right here on the Live Zone. For me, the hair bands.
The hair bands. I mean, heavy metal heyday. The guy on the right in that clip on the bass, that is Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. This was their best charting single of all time. This album, Dr. Feelgood, same title, was their highest, charting album of all time. Motley Crue, believe it or not, has been around for 45 years.
Gosh.
45 years. It has also been 20 years since one of their major tours, the Carnival of Sins. So they're marking two major milestones.
Okay.
And before that concert kicks off, that tour kicks off, I got a chance to go one-on-one with Nikki Sixx to talk about the major milestones. Take a look. guys know how to get a little wild. But in your wildest dreams, did you ever imagine you'd be doing this 45 years later still?
No. I mean, I think I remember something like the Rolling Stones, like 20th year anniversary. And I was like, wow, how do you do that for that long? You know, how do you stay in a band that long? How do you stay relevant for that long? And so many of our peers are, you know, up there too, 30, 35, 40 years, you know, some a little more, guys in Aerosmith. It's crazy. We never would imagine that. Just, you know, living in an apartment in Hollywood, writing these little ratty anthem songs and playing the clubs and just all, you know, it's really, now I can look back and go, what a crazy ride this has been. Like all the highs and all the lows and the whole thing. And, you know, here we are, and we're, you know, going to go out and do some shows this summer, and it's going to be a blast. It's a lot to be grateful for.
So this was actually just a small portion of our 10-minute interview. Whole thing coming to Fox Local and fox5dc.com soon. Tickets on sale today.
Wow.
For the tour. They're going to come to Jiffy Lube Live, Bristow, Virginia, August 3rd. So if you want to go see Motley Crue, celebrate 45 years of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Listen, Nikki Sixx, okay, you know, one of their other most famous songs, Kickstart My Heart. He wrote that after he died for 2 minutes. He had a heroin overdose. His heart stopped for 2 minutes.
Wow.
So I mean, these guys.
That's crazy.
You know, Tommy Lee, Vince Neil, Nikki Sixx, you know.
Yeah.
Everything you think of when you think of that heyday of 80s.
Oh, gosh.
Hair metal.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I feel bad, honestly, because if Steve Shenevy had been here this week, you know that is an interview he would have loved to have done. But it was really cool to get a chance to chat with Nikki.
Good stuff. Great interview, by the way.
Thank you very much. All right, so it's Friday. You know that means let's go from music to movies and TV shows. And we have more movies than TV shows this week. And I know we're heading into the holiday season. So if you're looking for something holiday related, we're going to start off with a little action, adventure, holiday theme. We're talking about The Family Plan 2. If you saw the first one, you know what to expect from this one. Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Monaghan. Mark plays a former assassin who now is like a family man, but, you know, he gets dragged into, this time around, they head over to London to visit his daughter for the holidays, run into an enemy from his past played by Game of Thrones star Kit Harington, and as you can imagine, chaos ensues involving the whole family. So that one is streaming now on Apple TV+. Next up, we've got another holiday theme, and this one more for like the rom-com crowd, okay? So that's the action comedy. Then we've got the rom-com, and we are talking about a movie called Champagne Problems. This is Minka Kelly. She plays like an up-and-coming, you know, real estate maven. She gets the chance of a lifetime to sell a chateau in the Champagne region of France, which means she's got to fly to Paris for the holidays to complete the sale. She tells her friend she'll take one night off from work around the holidays to really enjoy everything Paris has to offer. She meets a guy, they have a good time, and then she finds out he's the son of like the thing that they're trying to take over. Chaos ensues again, but more of the romantic kind. So you can catch this one streaming on Netflix now as well. Christmas in France, always a good idea, the tagline. I mean, I like that. I think a lot of people would agree with that, and also Netflix, to their credit, they're doing a real job at kind of giving Hallmark a run for their money with these Christmas movies that they crank out. They basically drop one a week from Thanksgiving on.
Nice.
So,
okay.
A lot of options there. Okay, next up, the holiday season, also award season. This is where we start to see a lot of those contenders for the Golden Globes and the Academy Awards, and this may be one you hear mentioned because it was at the Middleburg Film Festival, and it got some awards before it gets officially released. This is called Train Dreams, and this is based on a best-selling novella, and it tells the story of like a woodsman in the 1920s through the 1960s as he sort of witnesses a rapidly changing nation. So there are like Forrest Gump vibes, like a witness to history. This more on the dramatic side than like some of the comedic elements that Forrest Gump had. Joel Edgerton plays that woodsman. Felicity Jones, Academy Award nominee, also in this one. Also saw a little glimpse of William H. Macy in this as well. You can catch this one streaming on Netflix as well. Like I said, getting some awards.
I saw the trailer for this. I went to check out a movie the other day, as I normally do on Mondays. It looks really good.
I mean, the scenery itself, I think they shot it in Washington State.
Okay.
You know, he works on the railroads, building them, cutting down trees and things like that. Scenery-wise, absolutely gorgeous. Admittedly, the trailer, as you know, it's a little slow-paced. It's a little quiet, but I think that's part of the atmosphere that it's trying to convey, admittedly. So I do think this will be one we'll hear about come award season. All right, 2 new other things you can catch. One, a documentary, and this is Selena. We know her most famously. I want to make sure I get the title right, and I'm not great at Spanish, so here we go. It is called Selena y los Dinos, A Family Legacy. This one all about the late... Yeah, thank you very much. I didn't even have a Spanish comeback to that. Late queen of Tejano music, but it's through the voices of those who knew her best. Her mother, her father, her sister, her brother, her husband, and her bandmates. That one also on Netflix now. Netflix also has season 2 of the comedy A Man on the Inside. This is Ted Danson. He plays a widower who kind of give himself a new zest for life, becomes a private investigator's assistant, and he's working like in a retirement home. This season introduces a new character, a potential suspect in one of the cases he's investigating, played by his real-life wife, Ted Danson's real-life wife, Mary Steenburgen. The creator of the show, Michael Schur, also did Parks and Rec. He was a co-creator of The American Office, and he did The Good Place with Ted Danson. So, you know, this one's a hit, especially with my parents.
Well, I'm all things Ted Danson. I mean, he's awesome.
He's great. He's great. Cheers, one of those classics that people love to go back and revisit as well.
Good stuff. And yet again, great interview.
Thank you very much. We'll have much more on that coming up next week.
Okay, good stuff. Producer Chris with What to Watch right here on the Live Zone. Make it a great week. Oh, actually, we'll see you tonight. Yeah. Do you like it or not?
7:30 and then 9 o'clock Live Zone primetime. We've got Carmen Felder and Chef Selena.
Oh, really? Carmen's coming
from Below Deck.
Okay.
And fresh off of BravoCon.
Good stuff. All right, make sure you check them out tonight. If you haven't already done so, download the Fox Local Lab. We'll be right back with Poet Taylor in Celebrity Dish. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. It's just so funny. We were trying to get ready as we came right back on the air. It's definitely Friday, guys. And if it's Friday and we're feeling good and ready to have a good time, hey, let's make it really a party. That's where we bring in Poet Taylor, WPGC Midday Shenanigans, joining us for a little celebrity dish. Hello, Poet. Good to see you.
You know, I'm not going to lie, Guy. I got up and was like, should you put on eyelashes today? I was like, no, you ain't got nothing to do. Bada boom. Yes, I did.
Poet, you look great as you always do. But let me pull it full screen again. Let me see that T-shirt. What does that say? I can adult today. I love that, Poet. I think more folks need to follow in your footsteps in order to do just that. Speaking of which, let's talk about the allegations surfacing against Real Housewives star Wendy and Eddie Osefo. The couple accused of possessing around 40 credit and debit cards, some under fake names, to hide their identities. The pair have since spoken out against the allegations. In a joint statement, they accused investigators of bias in mishandling the case, saying officials improperly released their private financial records. Uh-oh, Poet, it looks like there's trouble in paradise in a major way.
So first of all, guys, let's talk about it. This is what the third housewife to get into some stuff. Are they doing like storylines that we watch, or is this real? Oh, I read that statement and they made a good point. If they're innocent until proven guilty, how come we know so much of their personal financial information, so much of the things that allegedly went down, and we don't know nothing else? It's almost like somebody worked there that don't really like them and is putting and leaking all of their stuff, because I don't think I've ever seen anybody, especially like a reality star or like a star, go through this, and before we can breathe, we getting all their business. Pictures out the house. Stop right there. Let's not give some happy Eddie to, because
I don't know, Poet. Well, you know what I say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of smoke here. But yet again, innocent until proven guilty, and I guess we'll just have to wait to see how it all plays out in the court of law. However, we also know that, speaking of housewives, another one in trouble. In this case, former or fellow Potomac star Mia Thornton, now facing legal troubles of her own. She's being sued for not paying her rent weeks before she was evicted and arrested for theft. Is it safe to say that there's a lot going on with these Potomac ladies, Poet?
Storylines on storylines. Remember, she trying to get into Real Housewives of Atlanta, or maybe at the rate she going, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But let me just be an advocate of another side of this. What if she was dating somebody and they broke up and that furniture was gifts, and then when she left, you know how men be emotional. What if he was like, "Oh, you gonna leave me? Well, now you stole it. You ain't paid the rent, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da." Because, you know, you men love to get upset and take gifts back. That's why I don't accept.
I tell you what, Poet, if for some reason, which I would never do, if I happen to rob a bank and allegedly do that, I got to tell you, I want you on my side, because no matter what goes on, you seem to come up with another story, and so I'll take that any day. Speaking of another story, how about Nene Leakes maybe returning to the small screen? Did you hear about this? The former Real Housewives of Atlanta star could be coming back to Bravo. According to the sources from the network, Andy Cohen has been in talks with Nene. What are you thinking about this?
I mean, it looked like there's a bunch of openings based on all the stories we just went over, guys. So is it because they want her back, or who you going to have when all your other stars are sitting somewhere else because of the things they've been getting into? I say what we really need is a real Cousins of DC, Andy, because I know you watch Live Zone. I mean, I'm ready for my close-up, and I know the cousins I'm bringing with me. Guy will be one of them. We won't be throwing and fighting. We going to be doing stuff for community, looking good at events, and taking care of each other. So remember where y'all heard that first, because these other people didn't have their moment. It's time to shine.
Well, speaking of shining, guess who's shining also bright? I'm talking about rapper Cardi B. Just days after giving birth to her counter-poet fourth child, Cardi paid to have her umbilical cord made into a piece of jewelry, costing $1,000. The process involved dehydrating the umbilical cord into the shape of a heart and then dipping it into a gold chrome. Something you would do, Poet?
Listen, Guy, when I get all of my Oprah riches, God, I know you are working on it. There will be signs that I am rich, and that's gonna be one of them. I dip mine in rose gold. Don't know. But when you are rich, there are signs, and Cardi just gave them to us. Have you ever thought of a guy? Have you? Rich people problem. I want some of them, not all of them. Hey, Wendy. Hey, y'all from Real Housewives. But I do want some of these rich people situations.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about this earlier on Good Day DC. I think the only thing my mom perhaps may have happens to be my hair, for my first haircut. But the umbilical cord, that's a little different. And then to dip it in gold, that's a whole nother level, Poet.
Listen, my mother has my GED award because I scored so close to a perfect score, and the award I just got from Martha Stable, and she posted them on Facebook. I'm all right with that. I'm gonna keep it up because I don't.
Poet, it's 1:35. Look, and I know you can go on and on. You told me, or your people told me, because that's what happens when you're Poet Taylor. She has people, that she has to be gone by 1:37 to be back on the radio. And so with that, let's put up your event real quick. I want folks to find out all about it. What are you doing this weekend?
Keep it positive, sweetie live. But this is Bits of Joy and Toy. Guy, you work with me. You know, for 9 years, I've partnered with PGC to do a holiday event where we do toys for the kids, we do haircuts, hairstyles for the baby, we feed them, we do gaming trucks, but I can't do it without the village's help. We are in toy drive situation. I started a little bit later this year with the furloughs and everything that was going on. I didn't feel comfortable launching it, and now we're in the mode of it. So when you go Black Friday shopping this weekend while you're out at the holiday market downtown, think of those really have a lot going on that could use some love from their cousins. So find me on IG. I have a link to an Amazon wish list that we have. We're always looking for volunteers, barbers, stylists, face painters, ballooners. Come. It's such a day of joy. And we serve about 500 kids annually. This is our 9th year. And it's just me keeping my promise to God for taking care of me while I was growing up, that I want to show up and take care of people that might think that they're not seen, to remind them they most certainly are.
Absolutely love it. We absolutely love you. Hey, Poet, my clock says 1:36 and 40 seconds. That means you have 19 seconds to hop back on the radio. Bye. We truly appreciate you. Poet with all day midday shenanigans on WPGC. She joined us for a little celebrity dish. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, folks, just like that, we're back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Time to get pumped up in a major way. And what am I making reference to in this case? All things gas. Yes, I'm referring to Gas on Us. You see it right there on your TV screen. Free gas for furloughed federal workers this upcoming Sunday, November the 23rd, beginning at 1 p.m. And you see it right there at the Citgo gas station. Oh, we know it oh so well in the heart of Northeast D.C. Joining us to tell us all about just that is Mr. Lance T. Albert. He's the senior pastor at Israel Baptist Church and kind enough to join us right here on the Live Zone. Pastor, good to see you and welcome to the show.
Good to see you, Guy. Thank you so much for having me. Listen, we are, it's been tough. It has been tough for people. God has blessed us and put us in the position because the truth is the government has opened up, but our pocketbooks have not. So we just want to do our part here at the Israel Baptist Church. And we've teamed up with the Isle of Patmos Baptist Church and Chosen Fitness, and then the House of Art Studios, you know that very well, and then Spa d'Artois, Flavor of Love ice cream truck. We've all teamed together to give some gas to some federal workers. And the truth of the matter is not just the federal workers. Federal workers can come with their IDs. They get first dibs at the first hour.
Wow.
So from 1 to 2, bring your federal IDs. Y'all get first dibs. We're going to have some, we teamed up with the mayor's office. We teamed up with DDOT and MPD. They're going to help us out in a major way. Bring your federal IDs. Y'all get first dibs. But after that, Ward 5, y'all come on, get some gas after that. Now, I only have a limited supply. So, so I did the calculation. It's about 250 to 260 cars. We're going to get $30 worth of gas.
Wow, that is awesome. Sir, you all are stepping up in a major way, and I know we're laughing and we're making light of it, but so many folks are going through hard times, as you pointed out, and this is yet again a great way for us to, well, really give them a helping hand. What was it that really encouraged you or inspired you to move forward with this?
So, growing up in New Orleans, we were poor, but we didn't know that we were poor. And the truth of the matter is, it was those folks in the community. We had what we call unity in the community. If we didn't have something, our neighbor had something. If they didn't have something, neighbors next to them had something. And then here it is. It was the church right around the corner. The church that I went to, Second Baptist Church, 6th District, 4218 Laurel Street, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70115. They had some of the things that we needed. If we needed some gas, some of the ladies would put money in our pockets. If we needed some food, they would help to take care of some of the things. And here's what we can do. We have to stop trying to look like church and start doing the church. I heard about this social experience, the experiment that this young lady was doing. She was calling churches and trying to find out if the church would turn her and her child down to give formula. And no church gave her formula, but she called them and she called everybody else and they would give her formula. And it's a sad indictment to the church. So I just wanted to make sure that we were in a position as a church and as a community, because we cease to be the church if we turn people down for simple formula and gas.
Well, now you're lending a helping hand and you're doing it in a major way. You see it right there on your TV screen. It's called Gas on Us. There it is. This upcoming Sunday, beginning at 1 p.m. at the Citgo gas station, 1905C 9th Street in the heart of Northeast D.C. Let's bring the pastor up real quick. I wanted to shout you out. By the way, I love your haircut. And folks probably say, Guy, why are you saying that? It's because we share the same barber. So shout out to our barber, Leonard, for taking care of us. And shout out to you, sir, for taking care of the people right here in the nation's capital. We truly appreciate you. Yet again, Pastor Lance T. Albert joining us right here on the Live Zone. Make it a great day, my friend.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right. Producer Joey now joining us. You got a segment coming up here, Joey, in just a minute, don't you?
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, keep watching. We're going to be joined by a guy who's been your platform for 19 years.
Absolutely love it. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Fox 5 Live Zone. I'm producer Joey. So last week on the show, we talked about fajitas, and we used this image to do that. It is of a... well, I'll let him tell it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to be joined on the Live Zone by none other than Jack Douglas. Jack, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. My brain kind of got a little blown out because I had no idea when you were reporting on the fajitas picture. I had no idea that they add a little sizzle sauce to exaggerate the sizzling effect. So that was pretty crazy to hear.
We try to do mind-blowing things here on the show. Well, here's what I heard. Before Be Funny Now, before ReactBot, before Chipwich, Klondike, and Sunday, before Mimi Big Boy, before even the WTF blanket, you were right here.
Enjoyed a
in
slight
Tenley
status
Town,
as a sole
at
member of a
American
one-man.
University. Jack, can you tell me about your local ties?
Oh man, for sure. No, I often tell people that the 4 years I spent at American University were the best 4 years of my life. But I love DC. I loved not just AU, but the friends that I made at AU, still keep in touch with at AU. And that was where I really got the film bug, or just the video making bug. It was on campus, just chasing my friends around, just like that, with a camera, video camera, begging them like, please, oh please, be in my video, want to be in a video? And what was wild is 9 times out of 10, they'd be like, yeah, sure. And God, man, like I said, I got the bug. And so I went to AU from 2006, graduated to 2010. And when I first started out as a college freshman, I had high hopes of moving out to Hollywood, but to be more in the traditional line of filmmaking. I thought I'd work my way up the ladder as an intern, before I'd be a big Hollywood director, right?
Oh, yeah.
But something funny happened. During those crucial years from 2006 to 2010, this little website called YouTube blew up, became a household name. And I just treated, like in the early years, I treated YouTube as just a portfolio to show all my work, right? Like, oh, I'll make these grand sketches and short films and upload them to YouTube and maybe I'll be discovered. What I never thought would happen was that YouTube would eventually become my career. So I have, in a large part, AU to thank for that.
Well, Jack, you are sizzling lately. This fajitas thing was notable on your subreddit. What has this all been like? You were known for one thing. You were known for another thing. You were the Bob Saget of YouTube. You've been doing this for 19 years. Yes, you the Bob, but not the other guy. What has it been like?
Well, you've done your homework. Wow.
Oh my God, I know you. What's this new resurgence been like?
It's been really fun. I got to tell you. So the fajitas thing it was a goofy thing. I was out at Barney's Beanery, a semi-popular chain out here on the west side. And I was hankering for some fajitas. I was out with some friends and I thought, oh, could you take a picture of me doing this thing? Because my little fajitas pose is a reference to a pre-existing meme that I'm sure you're aware of already, but it's a link of the famous internet duo Rhett and Link, just like in a very exaggerated swaggy dance pose, and it's got that impact font, top text, bottom text, like when the fajitas come out sizzling or whatever. So I thought, oh, I'll make a cute little reference to that meme, right?
Yeah.
I did not expect this stupid tweet, this dumb picture to take off in the way that it did. Who could, right? But of course, that's just how the internet works. It selects a picture or a meme and it's like, boom, that one. That's what I want to explode. So, funny story, I was in San Diego for a convention called TwitchCon back in October. And funny enough, I was grabbing brunch with one of my old AU college buddies. And we were seated outside. I swear, no fewer than 2 separate people came up to me unprompted and said, fajitas guy, was with zero irony, right? It's right, yeah. Do the thing, do the pose. And by the way,
do the roar.
Do the roar, yes. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I think it's the coolest thing. And I'm very fortunate to have been on the YouTube platform for, as you mentioned, 19 years, and still, getting some kind of recognition. even if people know me as just the fajitas guy, I'm very fine with that. I'm happy with that because the internet can be a funny place sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And I want to talk just one last bit of shop because you've been saying YouTube has a creator problem. Now, what I take that to mean is that the kind of indie creators, the film students, are kind of being pushed aside for more established brands. I remember you promoted a guy named Sam Henry once, probably back in 2015, and I was a fan of him throughout his whole career. So the things you're doing for small creators, can you get a little bit into that?
Sure. Well, I try my best. I have a few YouTube channels, and one of them called Jacksfilms with 3 J's. The sole purpose for that channel is to platform and highlight smaller creators that may have been pushed aside by the algorithm, and also highlights different forms of evolving content thievery because there are just so many ways to steal content now these days, and that doesn't even include the rising use of AI, right? And we're kind of in uncharted waters in terms of like how many different ways, how many new ways there are to steal content. So I try to bring those ways to people's attention and in fun, jokey ways, while also being like, hey, by the way, here's a channel with like 1,000 subs. They're making incredible content. No one knows about them. YouTube's not pushing them for some reason. Let's give them a little boost if we can. And I love doing that because having been a creator so long on YouTube, I've seen the shifts that have happened over the decades, right? Like when I started back in the early days, it was all about sketch comedy and original music videos and fun things like that. And these days it's very different. I'm not saying it's worse or better, it's just different. It's a lot more like personality fueled things. But also these days it's just way too easy to steal, re-upload, or just repurpose other people's content in shady ways. So that's what I try to bring to the forefront on one of those YouTube channels.
Well, Jack, thank you for everything you do. Jack, the questions get worse. New episode is out now with Scott the Woz. We've all been enjoying that. On behalf of me, my girlfriend, my friend, myself from middle school, thank you for everything you've done for this platform. I hope you come back to DC sometime. You'll have a home here at Fox 5.
Count on it. Count on it. Thank you so much. What a fun interview. I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you.
Right. We'll be right back. Yeah. Hi.
Oh, we're still on. Okay, cool. Excellent job. Joey, go ahead and put up the full screen, the one above us. That one up here, right up here.
Oh, yeah.
Put that one up. Yet again, Joey, with the amazing production and the amazing interview. That was really cool, my man.
You know, we had Christopher Williams here a couple weeks ago, right? And you said, imagine what it would be like if you got to interview a guy whose music you listened to when you were 13.
Yeah.
And Jack was that guy for me, so it was cool.
Yeah, great job. We should make that a segment. We'll call it, I don't know, Joey's Corner.
Yeah, well, here I am. You can see.
Great job, my man.
There's no exit in either direction out here, but thank you.
Oh, gosh. Well, we'll give you an exit to watch The Take, which is coming up in just a couple of minutes. We truly appreciate you watching this week. Thank you so much. We do it each and every Monday through Friday, 12 to 2. Tell a friend, bring a friend, and we'll do it all again. On behalf of producer Joey, who's in the corner, yours truly, Guy Lambert. Back here on Monday at 12 noon. The Take coming up next, right here on Fox 5.